Hi. So I've been working with a client that manufactures specialty uh, connection devices, basically screws, as you can see here. And I was given several samples of the product, and basically asked to model them up. I was also given a CAD file. Uh, the CAD file, of course, didn't really represent the product, in my opinion. Just due to the way, you know, the difficulty in creating CAD files and whatnot, to get the organic things in there. So anyway, this is what I created based on what I had in my possession and using my calipers and everything to uh, model it up. Uh, and you can see that, we have some serrated edges in here. I guess this helps, this is a non-boring screw. You don't need to bore a hole to screw this in. So this serrated threads here help kind of drill a hole in the material, whether it be wood or concrete or whatever. And then same way with this head right here. These parts here kind of help bore through it as well. And then when it gets up here, this helps further bore out the material so that this shaft can slide in a lot easier. So anyway, creating this was pretty complex. Getting this component in here, the threads, wasn't terribly difficult, but creating this in here and this was, rather difficult. Basically, I created the threads, and then I created 4 of these, and then I just had to stitch them in there. It was rather time consuming. Same way with this up here. Well, of course I thought I did a terrific job on it, but lo and behold, upon further discussions with the client, they wanted it to look more like the CAD file and more like some of the other representations they had already done previously, using Adobe Illustrator to illustrate the product. So they wanted some changes. In here. They thought this was pretty good, but it was a little too high, they thought, which that's fine. And then they wanted this part to be more like it was in the CAD file and the Adobe illustrations. So this is what it became. Oh yeah, and they also wanted these serrated edges to be more prominent, even though they're not very prominent on the real item. But I guess again, it's to show customers, potential customers, what these teeth do, and so this time I simplified the process, and these parts are no longer part of the model itself. Just to kind of simplify the whole thing. That way, if they want to make some changes, it'd be easier for me to make the changes. However, when we get over into the rendering aspect, it really doesn't render all that great. It renders as a solid seam right through here. So I thought, well, I don't really want to stitch all that stuff together like I did before, because it's just too time consuming, and I haven't got sign off on it yet from the client. but I do want to, I want to be prepared in case, you know, because I don't think this is acceptable here. I don't like the way that works. I'm going to have different camera angles too, and that just might not look right. So I wanted to really find a way to make this a lot easier process. So I recall Metamesh by Third Powers, and you know, I got on their website, looked at some of their videos and whatnot, and everything they showed was, you know, kind of lower res stuff, and I was really wondering, you know, how well it would work on something that had a little bit more complication to it, and a little higher detail. So I reached out to an online friend, Lightwave3D. Many of you may know who he is, and he has Third Powers Metamesh. So you know, he helped me out, and he just did a quick little run by to see, you know, see if it would do the trick, and it was very positive. So I immediately got online and ordered it, and I'm working with it, and I've been really impressed with it. So let me just give you a little demonstration of it real quick. So yeah, so here I want to merge these together. So what we do here is I got it set up right here. We just fire up the tool, and I have everything set the way I like it. So I'm just going to click, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, not too bad. It's a lot to do with how many you know, slices you have in the geometry here. You know, you got to line that up pretty good. You know, to get it to work really well. Now that's not so great right there. I'll be honest with you. So let me just try it again on this one here. That's not so great either. And I can play around with these, but I don't want to right now because I got another one going over here where it's working perfect. So that's that in a nutshell. That it pretty much makes a nice little welding band around here. Now let me show the one I was working on earlier, because I set this up after I got really what I liked. So I'm going to go here to version E. Now you can see now that I didn't do anything here except run it with these settings, and again you can see that I've got this line. You know, I created these and lined it up a little bit better with, and put these slices and cuts in here and line, so I got a better result than what you see here, just because of the way, I guess maybe the number of slices, you know, wasn't quite copacetic with the number of slices here in the threads. But you can see here that it turned out really nice. Let me just make it a little shinier here or whatever. Now I am going to go up and clean up, you know, some of this stuff in here, get rid of some of these tries, and just maybe use a spin edge to kind of, you know, work that out a little better. But for the most part, you know, I'm really pleased the way that turned out. Let me change this a little bit here, and then also too, you know, I used it on this piece here. So I'll show you this here. I'm going to go ahead and just cut and paste it right in here, and then I'm going to just run the tool and click on that. If you just click on it, it says move, but just click on it and it'll stay put, and it'll weld right in place. And looky there. You can see it just did a fantastic job of, it's almost magic, cleaning that up. And again, like I said, I played around with some of these settings until I got what I liked that, you know, I thought was going to work. And again, I'll have to go through and, you know, maybe clean some of that up, get rid of some of those triangles, and spin a few edges and around, spin a few quads, and make it just right. But man, really pleased with that. Man, I highly recommend this tool if you need to do some work like this. Pretty sweet. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you, and it's Third Power's Metamesh, and it's magic.